to Suresh. He will talk about a few more important stuff, and we can toggle in between.
Okay. So I just want to give a brief of. Just wanted to give a brief of what are the OWASP top 10. There are vulnerabilities defined by the organization to make sure you mitigate or you already have reached the controls definitions when you're using any AI system or when you're using any secured environment, web applications or anything those things. Right? So prompt injection, I'll go through all 10 of them. Maybe we'll do it quickly. Prompt injection is one of them where attackers can manipulate the LLM through crafted inputs. So what does this mean is when you give a prompt, you're also vulnerable to sending all the user information. There is all possibility you are looking for a password or you're looking out for some information, but it happens that by you didn't mean to send it, but you sent some information which is not supposed to be sent across. So prompt injections are some of the cases wherein these vulnerabilities can be unearthed. So this is top first from the top 10 list. A malicious user also can inject a prompt to extract sensitive data. So when you are sending a prompt, it is crafted in a way by a man-in-the-middle attack kind of thing, right? He can add a prompt and then send it across to a system and then retrieve the information. So it is not the exact output that you're looking for, but it is a crafted one. So this is very important to look for. The next one is insecure output handling. Here in this vulnerability arises when a downstream component blindly accepts the LLM. So in this case, what happens is cross-site scripting, those kind of web page vulnerabilities will be unearthed. So insecure output is something like, I'll give you an example. LLM output executed in system shell leading to code execution. You will be crafting probably a prompt and then it is part of a code, say example, and then it is running in background as a shell. And then it will give you, it will keep on giving you some prompts and the output. That is one of the vulnerability. Training data poisoning is one of the important ones, wherein manipulating the data or fine-tuning process to introduce vulnerabilities. So there is something like you're training something, you're asking for data or information. You're not happy with the information, you ask another question. So it is like it will try to get more information from you, and then finally it ends up into poisoning the training of the co-pilot or whatever questions you have been asking for. So model denial of services, this is something like a buffer overflow, if you guys know of, wherein a lot of services are running in background. You don't want them to run. It will make sure your memory is full, the hard drive and everything gets filled up, and then the moment you wanted some information, it gives up. So this is kind of denial of services. Supply chain vulnerabilities. Supply chain vulnerabilities in LLM can compromise the training data, which is more dangerous. Wherein you are looking for a training data which is filling up the system. What if that gets corrupted? You won't get the response what you're intending for. So this is another important OWASP top 10 list. The sixth one is sensitive information disclosure. I was talking about user ID and passwords, right? You end up asking for a prompt, say example, give me an ICICI Bank URL. It can fetch you the URL, but it also shows that you are looking for banking account information or you're trying to log into your banking account. It can also craft malicious activities and get all the user ID and password exposed. So this is another one which is sixth. Insecure plugin design. Most of the times, if you would have seen, you want to download something from website, a lot of plugins are added up, and they're all insecure. Most of them are third party. You just accept it. If you have seen, you get a pop-up and there's the internet gone or something like that, and you just accept it and then you go along. That is one of the insecure plugin design activity which happens. Then excessive agency. This is LLM-based system in a vulnerability caused by over-functionality. So over-functionality is, I'll give an example of banking. There is, you log into the system, you go and check your account balance. There is also something like a mini statement, there is also something like a summary statement. You again do the same kind of job, but in a different way. So a lot of excessive tabs happen when you look at the systems. And this is one of the examples where an excessive agency vulnerability is caused. Over-reliance on LLM can lead to serious consequences such as misinformation, legal issues, and security vulnerabilities. So sometimes what happens is you trust some of the websites and you just log in, but they are really not the right websites which you are looking for. So that is over-reliance, that you are confident enough saying this is the website I am looking for. The model theft is more of unauthorized access to the LLM models, risking economic losses. Basically, you give away your login information and then you don't log out of the system. There is all possibility that it is saved in your cookies and then someone else uses it. Nowadays, it doesn't happen when it is your secure laptop. But there is all possibility when you are doing this on a public systems or any shared systems. So these are the top 10 ones which are crafted. It's a recent 2024 OAPS list. Yeah, and to conclude, I wanted to bring in the 5 common cyber security attacks which has happened. From malware perspective, if you know, these are virus, worm, trojan. If you would have heard of these are the list of malware attacks. The other ones are password attacks. Password attacks are pretty simple. They do a lot of data breaches, and you gain access to certain things which you are not supposed to get. You might be a user, and then you get an admin privileged account information where you can see a lot of extra data. A phishing attack, maybe this is more common. People get emails. You have won a lottery, or you have won so many things, and you got a voucher. Click on this, and then you will get some. So those are kind of phishing attacks wherein your email and everything can be hacked. Click check-in, that is pretty similar to use sort of ads online, which is similar to what I said. This is more of ads wherein Amazon gives you some voucher and then you click and then it lands nowhere. Rather, you are ending up giving your personal information. That is something like it happens only when you click on that. So cryptocurrency hijacking is another one which is trending of late. Not so serious in India as of now, but it is definitely serious across other countries. Cryptocurrency is still getting popular yet in India, not so familiar with everyone. Yeah, so these are some kind of preaching that it is needed from all the security users or everyone. Updating your software regularly, making sure the computer is protected with viruses and malwares, right? You'll have to run some defender or some kind of antivirus on your system. Set up two-factor authentication. I gave you an example. Everyone should have their Gmail with MFA. Multi-factor authentication is what we call. So make sure you have another OTP to make sure you log in. Protect your connections with VPN. It's not so easy, but in organizations, bigger organizations like Microsoft, right? We have our own VPNs. It is always good to have your own VPNs. You can create your own at home so that it is secured enough to not to be hacked. Being careful while clicking on any links. So, as said, emails, you will get a lot of emails. Make sure you don't click on anything else unless it is intended for. Make sure Bluetooth is disabled when not in use. Probably people traveling, we have seen people using headphones, and earphones or whatever. So once you're done, you should be switching it off because it is pretty easy. In India, we have not looked for that kind of security because usual password is 4 zeros. Everyone knows it. So it is much easier to connect to your system and get all the details, whatever you need. That's a straightforward example. Nobody cares to do it because they feel that it is not important or it doesn't happen. nothing is going to happen for it. Then delete adware on your computer. These are something like a lot of softwares people use, right? I want to make some songs or 2 or 3 songs. You just download something, whatever is available on the App Store or mobiles or whatever, right? These are not definitely recommended. They come with malwares. Most of them come with malware. Somebody is giving it free for you, it is definitely not free. So there is some reason behind it. They want to get some access to information or whatever. Upgrade your security system. So all the patches, most of the operating systems, when you buy a genuine one, they give you updated patches every now and then. So make sure you are updated on it. Virus scans, external storage devices, plugging in USB. I know it is a little legacy thing. Not many people are into plugging in USB directly. People have their own Google space or some clouds as an example. But if you are plugging in any external devices, make sure you run a scan before you really open it. So these are kind of preachings that we should be careful of. Ensure critical data is backed up. There will be times when your system just gives up. You will have seen blue screen coming up, or your phone doesn't boot suddenly for some reason. So these are some of the cases where you need to have a backup plan always. That's the reason these are kind of preached and standards across all, and these are all valid for any of the systems. It could be AI system, a cloud system, or any given point of standalone systems as well. So that's, I think, pretty much it. I've given an example of AI. AI video that I had shared. There are some links. This will be available for you guys to go through for any details. Okay. And for the next session, we will have some hands-on. Probably we'll do few here, and some of them will go to the lab, and we'll conclude the session post the lab session is done. Is that fair enough? Any questions? All set for lab and some hands-on things? Okay.
We are figuring out the internet without that.
Okay, so we are more secure that we don't have internet to try out anything. So we'll have to wait.
Please take it.
ಈ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತಾ
ಈಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ಬಿಡೋಣ ಇದನ್ನ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡೋಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಈಗ ಈ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಇದೆ ಸರ್
ಹಾಂ ತಗೊಂಡು. So we probably can go to the lab directly because the net is not working here. We'll probably have all the sessions there. The live sessions, everyone can occupy the systems and then we'll take it from there.
ಓಕೆ ಸೀಟ್